Hi everyone, and welcome to the WebRTC Fiddle of the Month. This time what we're going to talk about is, AddStream, AddTrack, and AddTransceiver. And this means how the hell do you add media channels into a WebRTC session. There are different ways to do that, 3 of them to be exact. All of them are not the best, okay? And we're going to figure out what to do. So first things first, let's see what are they exactly or how they are used. So let me share quickly this. Okay, so what we have here is the statistics of Chrome of using these APIs, and you can see that AddStream is like in 0.5% of the users of the page loads on the internet today. There was a huge growth and spike due to the pandemic this year, which is to be expected. Now, if we go and check the others, so AddTrack, for example, okay, we see again growth, but somehow it's less. It doesn't come to the same numbers exactly. This one is 0.5%, this one is almost 0.1%. And then we've got AddTransceiver, which is again less than 0.1%. So somehow we've got 3 APIs. AddStream has the most amount of use. AddTrack and AddTransceiver, 0.08, both of them, or each one of them. So what do we make do of that, and which one should be using? So Philip, to you.
Right, so we have these 3 APIs, and yes, the question is which one to use. And AddStream is, as far as the specification is concerned, a legacy API. I think Safari does not even do a native implementation, even though Adapter.js is shimming it. So what we are going to show you first is how to migrate your code from AddStream to AddTrack.
Okay, so our first suggestion is don't use AddStream, and if you are using it, migrate away from it, because someday it won't be there.
Well, maybe in the next decade. So let me show you that part. So we have 2 fiddles, so I'm hopefully having the right one. So we do the usual thing. We create a peer connection, we wire up the ICE candidates, we listen to the on negotiation needed event, and then we have our asynchronous function that is going to acquire a stream, and then use either AddStream or AddTrack.
Okay.
Then it does a normal negotiation we do with a peer connection, and then we enable a button to remove a track from the stream, the original stream we got from getUserMedia. Because getUserMedia is still operating with streams, but we switch the peer connection API to operate on tracks instead of streams.
Okay.
So this code has run once, and we can see on negotiation needed fires once in both Chrome and Firefox and Chrome.
Okay, so the left side is Chrome, the right side is Firefox for the exact same fiddle.
The left side is Firefox.
Oh, sorry, left side is Firefox. They just look the same.
Very much. So if we remove the track from the original stream, in Firefox, nothing happens, which is fine. So we can just, instead of calling AddStream, we have this stream get tracks for each track, call AddTrack with the track and the stream, and that behaves exactly the same in Firefox.
Okay, so what we did now is went to getUserMedia, which got a stream from that. Instead of doing AddStream, we iterate across all of the tracks in that stream and add them individually one by one into our peer connection. And it worked well, and we know that because the on label on text in there is there on the on negotiation needed callback.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the Chrome one.
If we do the same, we run the same code, it behaves the same so far, but if we remove the video track from the original stream from get user media, for example, because we want to replace it locally with screen share, oh, on negotiation needed triggers. That is because Chrome has a kind of mixed approach to this API, where they said, okay, we want to remove video from the peer connection, but we are operating on streams. So we are listening to the streams events and then trigger events in the peer connection.
Okay, so what you're saying that if I build an application where the video or audio need to change dynamically, being added, removed, changed, replaced, screen sharing, muting, large conferences, all of these things, I'd better just use AddTrack because Chrome behaves differently if I start with AddStream and then need to play with individual tracks inside the stream.
Yes. So
okay.
AddTrack is more simple. The Chrome behavior here, I think it's a bug, but it has been there for a long time. And it made sense in the AddStream only world.
Okay. So what we need to do is to switch or replace our code from AddStream to AddTrack in order to make it to work better, especially if we're changing dynamically the streams, the tracks. Sorry. Okay.
Yes. So that is the easy part. And there's even a code mod I wrote which will automatically transform your code from AddStream to AddTrack. It's a mechanical operation.
Okay.
So that is AddStream versus AddTrack. Now let's look at AddTrack versus AddTransceiver, which is our second fiddle.
So we had AddStream at the beginning, then WebRTC added introduced AddTrack, and then introduced AddTransceiver.
Yes.
So AddTransceiver is the latest and greatest.
I would say that AddTransceiver is
the latest.
It is the latest, but we have not removed AddTrack from the specification.
Okay.
AddTransceiver, it gives you more control over the SDP because if you add a transceiver, you actually add a M line in the SDP, but that can have some unexpected consequences if you're using it like we're going to show in the fiddle.
Okay.
So the fiddle is a bit more simple. Peer connection again on ICE candidate. We're listening to negotiation needed on both connections now. And then we do the usual thing. We get a stream from get user media. We use AddTrack on the first peer connection to add the track to the peer connection or the tracks of the stream.
Okay, so again, instead of using AddStream, we switched here to AddTrack, and the only difference that is there that we iterate and shove it into the peer connection anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we call AddTransceiver on the second peer connection.
Okay. Why on the second one and not on the first one?
Because I want to show a very specific behavior.
Okay.
So we do that, then we create an offer, which will have two M lines, one for audio and one for video. And we call set remote description on the second peer connection.
Okay.
And then we call set local description, create an answer, set remote description, set local description. And then we say we're done with negotiation. So we have, if we look at the events fired, the on negotiation needed, we see PC2. Okay, that is from here. PC1, that is from here, even though the order is a bit confusing in Firefox. Well, they will fix that, hopefully. And then we're down here, done with negotiation. But then we get on negotiation needed again. And why is that?
Why is that?
Because we actually have, if we look around here, so let's say, because we have created a transceiver and that transceiver is not matched to the incoming transceivers. Get transceivers lengths plus, and hopefully this will run. So we have 3 transceivers. So we have our local video transceiver, which we created, and we have the incoming audio and video transceiver. Okay.
Okay.
So we have 3. And if we added on the second peer connection a video track to the connection or to the transceiver and the transceiver sender, without another renegotiation, it would not be sent back.
Okay.
And that is quite unexpected, right?
Okay. Can't say that I understand transceivers too much, but okay.
It's complicated. So these transceiver API, this gives you a lot more control about the SDP, but AddTrack tries to be a bit user-friendly, where it puts the tracks in the SDP, but AddTransceiver is just giving the user raw access.
Okay.
Which one is better depends on your application.
Yes, and we tried to talk about it earlier, and you couldn't quite give me a reason to use AddTransceiver in any use case or scenario that came to mind immediately. Like, this is what we need to do.
Yes, I mean, if you're building your application fully on AddTransceiver, go for it. But if your application evolved from AddStream and AddTrack, it is very hard to make actual use of AddTransceiver, I would say.
Okay. And your suggestion for someone starting out is to not use AddStream because it's old and useless, or it will work, but sometimes, then it might break in the future, and to use AddTrack because it's simpler than AddTransceiver and generally it does everything you need anyway.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, and we'll see you all in our fiddle next month. Bye.
Bye.